Hi Leo, the Awakened Dreamer here. To give you a tarot reading for your next 48 hours, I want to thank you so much for your presence. It is beyond appreciated. And do keep in mind this is meant to pertain to the following 48-hour period for you, beginning around when you were guided or drawn to this video, not just following when I post it, okay? A bit timeless in that sense. But I do appreciate your likes, your comments, your subscriptions. You know the drill. And this is general, but let's do some shuffling. We're pulling from the Queen of the Moon Oracle deck. Now I think it was a struggle to even begin this reading, as every time I tried to spit out the intro, it just was butchered. Now I do feel like Mercury retrograde is affecting you to a certain extent, spirituality coming into play. You could feel just a little bit off in certain ways, but I do feel like you're quite on point as far as impressing people, as far as being in a good mood, I feel the need to say, at least for the most part, for the majority of the next 48. Right before this attempt to record, okay, I was pushed to put my hands up in the air and dance a little bit, right? And I started singing who knows what song, right? It was a Spirit original, let's just put it that way. And I feel as if music's coming into play. There's just happy, good vibration sort of vibes, right? Dancing to the music. Do recognize that when you're pushed away from content on social media or a certain show or movie that's purposeful, or certain even conversations, do recognize that when you're pushed to listen to a specific song or just to shuffle your music or listen to music in general, that's for your benefit. There's either a message or you're just pushed to have that creative release, right? I feel as if you are just desired energy-wise. Your energy is necessary is now what I'm getting. I feel as if you're just outgoing and feeling a little bit trapped in certain ways or just restricted. I do feel as if you're going to make the best in the next 48. That's your vibe. I'm going to make the best out of where I'm at, because I've learned that in the past, not doing that is just the wrong choice, right? Somebody misses you now, is what I'm getting. And I feel like that's a vibe where you are needing to recognize that they're not the only one, okay? That was not great wording, but I feel like your wording's not going to be on point in the next 48. Just accept it, okay? And it doesn't need to be. I feel as if the slip-ups, the moments where you're not appearing perfect, it's endearing, it's laughable, it's entertaining, it's ideal for what content you're producing or developing or whatever you're achieving in that moment. I do feel like you're a reminder not to stress the details or not to strive for over perfecting, right? But I feel like behind the scenes, you're over perfecting. Does that make sense? Or you're striving for it? Wow, bear with me. There was an ant crawling on the camera, and I thought it was on the wall. Anyways, they're saying Florida life. And I really do feel as if you're being pushed to recognize that your strive for keeping things neat, your wanting to perfect things, is part of your clear-minded thinking in the next 48, okay? So don't overstress things like that, but don't minimize your want and your desire for things to be in order, okay? Wisdom and hunger coming out. Sorry, that was a lot before I even showed the cards or spoke upon them. And I really do feel as if you're hungry for success, right? You're wanting more. Now, the hunger card in a different deck came out in your last 48-hour reading, which I believe was done 2 days previous to this one. So they're saying don't hate me for loving Leos, but I do sense that your connection to the moon is just quite relevant, is strengthened in certain ways. Now, I did get the vibe with this here, that okay, your connection to the moon will be one of magic, is what I just heard. I did get a very releasing kind of vibe, right? Releasing certain pent-up emotions, or just allowing for, again, you know, that moment I had about the music and just dancing, art even. I feel like there needs to be even a physical sort of release of pent-up emotion, or just, I feel like you're healing in your own individual expressive way. Let's just put it that way. Okay, sexual matters coming into play, but the wisdom card coming out as well, because I do feel like you're being viewed in a very wise light. All right, you and Sagittarius, I want to say. I don't know why that came out the way it did, but everything's purposeful in these readings. And I do feel like there's a key to you working in the dark. I mean, I get that, obviously, but, or just something to be discovered or realized or recognized in moments of darkness, however that comes to be for you. And I'm getting specifically actual lighting, right? Or lack thereof, which, but for some of you, you could take that in a different manner. I do feel like there's clarity to come to be in regards to something that needs to be given birth to, right? As there's a bunny there, a rabbit. Trusting your own intuition is coming into play in the next 48. And I feel like you're just vibing to your own flow of things. And it's almost like people will give their opinions or be negative or over concern themselves. And you'll either help them become more positive or you'll just discard it. It's like I got my own little world to keep up with, or just to be one with. There may be moments or several moments in the next 48 where you're just simply staying in your own bubble. They're pushing me to express that I love your energy, and it's just true. You've been through a lot, and so you deserve this good vibe, but it's your own doing that's leaving you in this good energy, right? You're just thriving, right? But I feel like there's a want to implement more self-care. There's a push to implement self-care, okay? Now, I feel like for some of you, there's a want to do something to take care of one's physical appearance, or just, where you can't for whatever reason. So then there's a reminder that it's a push to either implement self-care in a different way, right? Either to relax a little bit more, or just, there's always a form of self-care you can implement. Keep that in mind. Self-love. Self-love is what I just got. Anyways, let's move on to the tarot. We're going to do the good tarot. You're a spiritual being. Don't forget that is what I'm getting. You're a spiritual being for Leo. Yeah, I just feel the need to check myself out in the Leo energy. Okay. The Tower card. I do feel like certain endings are coming to mind. I do feel like you're putting something to rest in one's mind for at least the time being, so you can move forward and not overdo it. And it's this vibe where whether you're desiring somebody or something so badly recently, and then the hunger for more, and then you stop stressing it in that sense, or you stop desiring it to the furthest extent, and then it comes in, or will moving forward, or then you get more of which. It's like the over desire for something at times will put up a bit of blockage in your manifestation process. I wholeheartedly have experienced this where I wanted ultra success when I was working in dealerships, the automotive industry. And then you step away from the attachment, the emotional attachment, or the extreme desire for it. And you just do what you got to do, and you do it well. And then the over succeeding just comes to be, right? That's when my numbers would be through the roof and I would over impress people. So there's a focus on how you are meant to easily manifest and not over crave something to the point where it doesn't help the process. An overly proper way of being, I do feel like there needs to be a focus on your posture. I mean, me personally, but I do feel like your posture will come into play and how that's going to help you energy-wise. I do feel like somebody or something's affecting you in a bit of a shaky way, right? Whether it's spiritual and or somebody in your midst. But again, you're making the best. You're making the best. Energy is everything. The Messenger of Air, the Four of Earth, and the Two of Air. Look at this vibe. There's just a graceful sort of, but at times not so graceful, flowy, dancing kind of vibe about your energy. I do sense that there's very, sensual or calming music that you're going to be pushed to wrap oneself up in, potentially following a very upbeat sort of fun song or moment. I do sense that with this crown here, there's a delicate sort of royal way about you. I'm hearing you're admirable. Is that even the way you would put it? You're admired. All right, let's just put it that way, Leo. Why did I just get a little bit emotional? Get out of your feels. Get out of your feels, Leo. Okay, if that does pop up in certain moments. I just feel like there's somebody at a distance and they need to either make a move or just, Anyways, moving on. The Messenger of Air and the Four of Earth. And I really do feel like there's a message coming in that leaves you a little bit enamored or just leaves you feeling more cocky. Compliments coming in, praise coming in, people just wanting more of what you have to offer. Again, your energy is everything. Your energy is everything. Even when you have a moment where you're a little bit emotional, I feel like somebody likes it, okay? Or people just feel you're real. You're real. You're not faking it. You know, you're not trying to discard what you're going through in that moment. And I feel like that even helps other people, teaches other people. There's a very obscure, very abstract way about your energy at certain points. I do feel like art is coming into play, or design, stuff of that nature. You're wanting more control, okay? You're wanting to see your savings increase. And I feel like that's going to come to be. And I feel there's a brainstorming way about your energy at certain points where you're putting in the effort to foresee an expansion in one way, shape, or form, or to see growth come to be. It's about time. It's about time. Your independence is just beyond. It's beyond amazing. And I do feel like, yeah, you're creating, you're developing, you're very overly serious at certain points, and then you can't help but smile. And I feel like for some of you, it's that moment where you look in the mirror, or you look back at your work, and it just makes you happy. Be your own best critic. Interesting. Be honest with oneself, but admire oneself all the meanwhile. I mean, I do feel as if you're looking pretty damn good in certain ways, okay, or in all ways. But here we are, strong as ever, okay, strong as ever. I feel like physically for some, but even in your emotional state for the most part, in your thought process, in your conveying, I just feel like you're bold and doing well for the most part. Once again, that's the vibe of this reading. Your energy is contagious. The sun is shining down upon you, or just will more so in the upcoming weeks. But I do feel like you're at the very least basking in a bit of spotlight attention, okay? Well deserved, well craved is what I just heard. A Leo is to be admired, and that's the vibe about the next 48 in certain ways. But remember, it's the next 2 days that remind you you're doing well and are going to be doing even better moving forward, but your energy is just so damn contagious, all right? So I hope this was truly helpful. I am sending you so much love and light. Now go enjoy your next 48, and I'll definitely see you next time. Bye, Leo.